Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through some MLB player props I like on Prizepicks for today's MLB slate for Thursday, June the 23rd. We have 10 total MLB games today, but it is worth noting that a lot of games are during the early afternoon. First game of the day starts at 12:10 Eastern time, so a lot of day games today. I think of the 10 games today, 7 of them are during the afternoon between like 12 and 3 o'clock. So I wanted to go ahead and get this video out Wednesday night, go ahead and get it up so you guys have some time to get these plays in. Hopefully you get all the plays in. 2 of the 3 plays that I'm on for today are coming from the early games, so we'll see. If you don't get them in, then it is what it is, but we'll talk through the 3 plays I like for today. We'll share why I like them. Before we do, guys, we'll recap our plays from Wednesday night, and we had a great day Wednesday night. Thankfully, after struggling badly on Tuesday, going 1-2 on Tuesday, bounced back, got a clean sweep on Wednesday, hit the over 31.5 fantasy points for Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton, once again, pitched great. Had like 12 strikeouts, I want to say, got 52 fantasy points, crushed his projection. And then we took the over 6.5 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler. That one hit as well. Wheeler had 8 strikeouts. And then we hit the over 6 strikeouts for Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani also pitched a great game. I think he had 13 strikeouts. He actually doubled his projection. So really good day Wednesday. Hopefully you guys tailed the picks, made a little bit of money. Let's try to do it. Try and do it again on a Thursday slate. Before we get started though, talking through the picks for today, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. I always appreciate the likes, guys. Always appreciate you checking out these videos every day. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, make sure to sign up for Prizepicks and use promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And you can take a look at the props that Prizepicks has available for MLB on Thursday. Obviously, at the time I'm making this video on Wednesday night, they don't have the full board posted yet. They're going to add more props as we get closer to the start of the games on Thursday. But you can check out their full board, see all the props they have available. Check out the rest of the sports they offer. Prizepicks does offer a ton of other sports outside of just MLB and NBA, NFL, all the the main sports. They offer CS:GO, tennis, USFL, pretty much anything you can imagine. So get over there, sign up, use code NOAH, get your first deposit matched up to $100. But talking through my 3 plays for today, again, 2 of the 3 plays I like are coming from the early games. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. First play that I'm on, though, is coming from the night games, and we're going to go down to Joe Musgrove. And I really like this one. I like this one a lot. Over 36.5 pitcher fantasy score for Joe Musgrove is the first prop that I like for today. I also really like his over 6 strikeouts. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be playing the over on his fantasy score, but if you want to play the over 6 strikeouts for Musgrove, I like that quite a bit. Obviously, you can't play the same player twice in one entry, but I like that one as well if you wanted to take that. I feel like Musgrove's going to hit both those projections. But looking at Musgrove so far this season, I mean, he's arguably been like the best pitcher in baseball so far this year. He has great numbers. All of his numbers on Baseball Savant are excellent. He ranks highly in pretty much every statistical category except for like fastball velocity. He doesn't throw super hard, but he gets a lot of swings and misses. He has a good strikeout rate. He rarely gets hit hard either. And if you look at like his expected ERA, expected WOBA, I mean, his expected WOBA is in the top 8% in the league. It's one of the best in the league. His expected ERA is in the top 8% in the league. His exit velocity, again, like he doesn't get hit very hard. He gives up a lot of soft contact, which is good. Top 9% in the league. Got a 26% strikeout rate. He's just been pitching incredible this season. He's made 12 starts so far this year. He's gone over 37 fantasy points, so he's gone over this projection in 10 out of 12 starts this season. He has a quality start in every single start this year, and he has allowed 2 runs or less in every single start this year. He's just been pitching excellent. Now, this matchup against the Phillies, it's an average matchup. If you look at where the Phillies rank this year versus right-handed pitching, they're about middle of the pack in terms of strikeout rate, batting average. They have a 22.3% K rate versus righties this year. When you look at batting average, they're 12th in batting average. On base percentage, they're a little bit less than average, 18th, so a little bit less than middle of the pack. In terms of slugging, the Phillies rank 12th. So they're about, like I said, average in terms of rankings versus right-handed pitching. But when you take a look at their projected lineup for tomorrow, there are some guys that, there are some guys here that have a lot of power, like Kyle Schwarber, Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper, even Nick Castellanos. It's a good lineup. The Phillies do have a good lineup, but when you get to the bottom of that lineup, there are definitely some easy outs at the bottom of that lineup. There are also some strikeouts you can get. When you look at the K rates this year for these Philly bats, like Kyle Schwarber, even though he's a good hitter and has power, he strikes out a lot, 26% K rate. Rhys Hoskins has a 26% K rate versus righties this season. Castellanos, 24% K rate. The only guys that don't have a K rate above 20% this year versus righties are Bryce Harper at 18% and Didi Gregorius at 17%. Everyone else has a K rate above 20%. So I think it's definitely a matchup where Musgrove can limit the damage. He can get some strikeouts. He usually always pitches pretty deep into games. Like I said, he's got a quality start in every single start this season. So if he can get a quality start, get like 5 or 6 strikeouts, maybe get a win, can easily go over this 36.5 fantasy score. And like I said, he's gone over this in 10 out of 12 starts this season. The 2 starts where he did not go over 36.5 fantasy score, he had 34 fantasy score. So he's had 34 fantasy score in at least 34 fantasy points in all 12 starts that he has made this year. He's just been so consistent, been pitching so well. I feel like his line, no matter what the matchup is, with how well Musgrove has pitched this season, with how good of a pitcher he is, I feel like his projection should always be like 40.5, 41.5. I feel like 36.5 is definitely too low. It is worth noting that this is Musgrove's first start off the COVID list. He did test positive for COVID like a week ago, but he came back with negative results, or he at least is able to rejoin the team. So he didn't really miss much time. I think he only missed like 1 day. He was supposed to pitch yesterday, but he had to have his start pushed back because of his return from COVID. I don't think that's going to like limit him or anything. I wouldn't be really worried about that at all. So I think Musgrove's going to continue to dominate, going to continue to pitch well, and I feel pretty good about him getting 37 fantasy points. He's gone, like I said, he's gone over this line in 10 out of his 12 starts this season. So I like this one as our first play for today, over 36.5 pitcher fantasy score for Joe Musgrove. I also really like it over 6 strikeouts if you wanted to play that too. But then our second play, coming from the early games, like this one quite a bit, over 31.5 pitcher fantasy score for Clayton Kershaw, going to be our second play for today. Now, Clayton Kershaw, so far this year, he's been, a good pitcher still. Like, he's obviously, towards the end of his career. I mean, he's 34 years old now, but this guy can still go out there and dominate, and he still has really good numbers. When you look at, like, his walk rate, his strikeout rate, his whip percentage, like, he still gets, a good amount of swings and misses. He gives up a lot of, like, soft contact. He doesn't get hit very hard at all. He has one of the best walk rates in the league, so he rarely walks batters. Kershaw is, a super accurate pitcher. Rarely does he, lose command. He's always going to have good command, always going to be able to put the ball in the zone when he needs to. Has a good chase rate, so he still gets a lot of swings and misses outside the strike zone. Has a this season's got a 27% K rate. Like, nothing's really tailing off for Kershaw. Like, he's still a really good pitcher, still has really good numbers. This will be his 3rd start now that he has made since coming back from injury. He did get injured back in early May and had to miss about a month from his injury. He made his return on June 11th against the 49ers, against the Giants. He pitched 4 innings and only threw 71 pitches in his first start back. But then last start, he pitched 5 innings, so he went a little bit deeper, threw 81 pitches in that start. Now that he's making his 3rd start back from injury, like, I think Kershaw can go 6 innings today. I think he should be able to throw 85, 90 pitches. The Dodgers, they're always going to be super cautious with Kershaw just because he's kind of their ace and he's, an older guy. They're never going to let him go out there and throw like 120 pitches in a regular season game. Like, they're just never going to do that. But I think Kershaw, since his pitch count is slowly increasing each game, this should probably be a day where they let him throw 85, 90 pitches, especially if he's pitching well. And this should be a matchup where he succeeds in, because against the Reds, I mean, this is not a team you're really worried about. They're not that good of an offense. When you look at where they rank versus left-handed pitching so far this season, they're, again, like, their numbers are about average, which does feel like, almost feels too high. Like, this Reds team is just not that good. Like, you would think they have worse numbers versus lefties this year. But in terms of K rate, the Reds are 12th in terms of strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching, 22.8% K rate. In terms of batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, again, they're about middle of the pack, 14th in batting average. On-base percentage, they're 14th. Slugging, they're 15th. So about middle of the pack in every offensive category. But again, like, I'm not really scared about this Reds lineup. I think this is a lineup that Kershaw can easily get through. When you look at their hitters, like, there are plenty of strikeouts in this lineup. I mean, their K rate versus lefties is not, like, super high, but man, when you look at, like, some of the K rates for some of these guys versus left-handed pitching this season, I mean, Joey Votto's K rate's over 30%. I'm sure that's going to come down as the season progresses, but he's been striking out a lot versus lefties. Tommy Pham, Brandon Drury, Jonathan India, they all have K rates, above 23%. The only guys that really don't strike out are like Kyle Farmer, Nick Senzel only has a 17% K rate. Matt Reynolds' K rate's 19.5%. It's around 20%. Oki, I don't know how you say his name. He's only had one at bat versus a lefty. He's struck out in that at bat. Obviously, not much of a sample size there. But there are definitely some strikeouts in this lineup, especially at the top of the lineup, which is crazy. Like, that's where most of the strikeouts have come from this season. In general, I'm just not worried about this Reds lineup. I think this is a team that Kershaw can excel in. I think this is a spot where Kershaw should be able to go probably 6 innings. Again, like ever since he's come back from his injury, he's pitched deeper into the game each start. Went 4 innings, then he went 5 innings. His pitch count increased by 10 each start. So maybe today he goes 6 innings, throws like 90 pitches. If he gets a quality start, he's probably going to go over his fantasy score because he's probably going to get at least 4 or 5 strikeouts against this Reds team. Right now, the Dodgers are also pretty heavy favorites. They have a 5.4 implied run total for today. The Reds just have a 3.8 implied run total, so maybe Kershaw can get a win as well. And if he gets a win, that's obviously 6 additional points there. A lot of ways that Kershaw could go over this fantasy score. He could get a quality start, get a win, get a couple strikeouts. That's really all that he needs to do. And I think against this Reds team, he should be able to do that. So I like the over 31.5 pitcher fantasy score for Clayton Kershaw. Now that he's slowly working his way back from injury, I think this should be a day where he's able to pitch deep enough to possibly get a win, get a quality start. Should throw like 90 pitches. And against the Reds, I think the opportunities will definitely be there for him to rack up some fantasy points. So that's going to be our second play for today. And then our third and final play is going to be a strikeout prop, and we're going to be taking the over 6.5 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. Love this matchup for Robbie Ray against the Athletics. The Athletics, they're another team I'll just continue to attack. They're not a good offense. There's plenty of strikeouts in this offense or in this lineup, and we know Robbie Ray is a pitcher that can get strikeouts. He ranks pretty highly in terms of his K rate so far this year, 72nd percentile. When you look at his K percentage, he's got a 26% strikeout rate this year, which is a little bit lower than previous years. Like last season, he had a 32% K rate, which is one of the highest in the league. K rate's not been as high this season, but he's still been able to get plenty of strikeouts, and this is a matchup where he should be able to get Ks. The Athletics, they're a team that will strike out quite a bit. Left-handed pitching, right-handed pitching, doesn't really matter. There's plenty of Ks in this lineup. I think his name's Nick Allen. I'm not exactly sure. He's got a K rate above 20%. Sheldon News, 20% K rate. Sean Murphy, 27% K rate. Bethancourt, 24% K rate. Chad Pinder, he has a K rate above 30% this season. Bride, he hasn't made many plate appearances versus lefties, so hard to really tell about his strikeout rate. Laureano hasn't been striking out as much versus left-handed pitching this season. Elvis Andrus doesn't strike out much. Pache hasn't been striking out as much versus lefties, but there's still 5 or 6 guys in this lineup that have K rates above 20% this season. And again, Robbie Ray's a pitcher that can rack up strikeouts. He's a good strikeout pitcher, gets a lot of swings and misses, gets guys to chase outside the zone. And I do believe he's faced the Athletics already once this season. Yeah, he faced Oakland on May 25th. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 walk. He did have 10 strikeouts, though. So last time Robbie Ray faced the A's this season, he had 10 strikeouts. I think he should be able to get us 7 Ks here. Looking at his starts so far this season, he has gotten at least 7 Ks in 6 out of his 14 starts this year. He's gotten at least 7 Ks. Some of those starts early on in the year, he wasn't pitching like super deep in the game. His pitch count wasn't super high. He should be able to go probably 5-6 innings here against this A's team. He could even go like 6-7 innings if his pitch count's good. He should be able to throw 95 to 100 pitches. And with how much this A's team will strike out versus lefties, I think this is a spot where Robbie Ray can definitely get us 7 Ks. If you do look where the A's rank versus left-handed pitching this season, they do have a top 10 strikeout rate. They're 10th in K rate, 23.2%. So like the matchup for Robbie Ray. I think he can get us 7 strikeouts. I like the over on his Ks for today, 6.5. You could also look to take his fantasy score. I don't mind that one either, 38.5. But Robbie Ray is one of these guys that can give up some runs. Like I could see him getting 7 strikeouts, but not going over his fantasy score. Where the other guys like Kershaw and Musgrove, I have a hard time seeing them going over strikeouts, but not fantasy score. That's kind of why I side with Ks for Robbie Ray, just because he can give up runs. He will give up home runs from time to time, but the K should definitely be there in this matchup. So what I'm liking for today, guys, are 3 plays for today. Over 36.5 pitcher fantasy score for Joe Musgrove, over 31.5 fantasy score for Clayton Kershaw, and over 6.5 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. Like I said earlier, we do have 10 total games on Thursday, but a lot of the games today do start during the day. So I wanted to get this video out, get it out the night before. Hopefully you guys are able to get all these plays in. If you miss them, then it is what it is. But hopefully we can have another good night. Went 3-0 on Wednesday, got a clean sweep, and we might be able to do it again, or at least I'm hoping we'll be able to do it again. But yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck on this Thursday slate. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I hope these videos help. Make sure you hit that like button before you get out of here. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Check out Prizepicks. Sign up for Prizepicks. Make sure to use promo code NOAH. When you sign up for Prizepicks, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100, and you can take a look at all the props they have available. If you want to dabble into some other sports outside of MLB, Prizepicks does offer a ton of other sports outside of just baseball, outside of just your regular main sports. So give them a try, sign up with that code, and get your first deposit matched up to $100. But that's all that I got for tonight, guys. Wish you the best of luck on this Thursday slate. Hope you guys enjoy your Thursday, and we'll see you in the next video. Best of luck tonight, guys. Peace.